Welcome to another Choose a Career segment. Today I'm here with Sean from Basecamp Coding Academy. Did I get it right?
That's right.
All right. Now this is a special program for high school students who've graduated and want to go on and learn about the coding industry. So why don't you basically walk us through how the academy works?
Sure. So we're a nonprofit organization. And we train high school graduates to be software developers. So I'm talking about web design, building apps, cybersecurity, database management, video game development. So it's only a year-long program. We get started right after graduation, but we treat Basecamp more like a job than a school. So we're there Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30 every day, 40 hours a week, mainly because there's a lot to do, but also because we do a lot of things to allow our students to build habits so that they're ready to join the professional workplace. So not only do they get the technical skills, we cover 8 coding languages and frameworks in our basic curriculum, but we also spend a lot of time on professional skills so that our students who, will be pretty young when they join the workforce, there's a lot to know about working in an office and being a professional that students don't always, get an opportunity to learn about in high school. And so we also spend a lot of time on, developing your resume, doing mock interviews for when you get on the job hunt. Our students create a professional portfolio that puts on display all their technical projects that they've built while they've been with us. And so, the primary goal of Basecamp is to give students the training they need to start a career in tech. And our students typically, when they leave Basecamp and they do join the workforce, they start at about $50,000 a year, which I don't know how that sounds to everybody, but it's a heck of a lot more money than I made when I was 19 years old. And it's even if you're not a programmer 10 years, 15 years from now, it's an incredible way to start your adult life. And I've seen students' lives just dramatically changed by, putting the time in with their hard work for a year, and it pays off really quickly. And our students, because we're a nonprofit, all of our students are on scholarship, so we are tuition free, and the students leave us with no debt. And so, if programming is something that you think you might be interested in, or maybe you already have some experience with, it's a great alternative to college, which we all know is incredibly expensive these days. And so it's really turned out to be a kind of place where, we have a lot of young people in the building, similar interests, and, some magic really happens in the building when we're there for that year. So,
well, I have some burning questions.
Absolutely. Let's go.
So let's start. What does your facility look and feel like, and what are some of the things that they would do on a day-to-day basis?
Sure. So our facility, we actually have a new-ish facility. The co-founders of Basecamp purchased an old garment factory in Water Valley, and after a lot of hard work getting grants and whatnot, we've refurbished the building. It's beautiful now, and so with all the necessary tech equipment and setup, we have a partnership with C Spire out of Jackson, and they built us a fiber optic cable for the building, so we've got the fastest internet in Water Valley, and we're ready to go in the facility. We also have incubator offices where we have local people that are that work in tech, that have startups. So we have an educational resource that's also in the building. We have a cryptocurrency platform that's in the building.
And just students, if you don't want an incubator, that's basically starting a business from the ground up.
That's right. So we already have a nice facility that's set up for doing work on the web. So they rent some space from us inside the building, and then I also kind of drag those people out to come talk to our students as well and sort of tell their story about tech. And some of those incubators typically go on to hire our graduates.
What would some of the classes look like?
We're a little more like a job than school. So our technical director certainly gives lectures introducing whatever the new topic is or whatever the new tool is that we're going to be using. But we're very, a lot of people say this, but we're very hands-on. So our students don't sit in a desk and listen to lectures all day about, the nature of computer programming, they get right to it. They'll write their first program their first day at base camp. And so it is a little different than school. What happens is the students are given 5 weeks of work, and they have 5 weeks to complete all that work.
Like a job.
And so, there are deadlines, but the students work independently. They have to figure out how to manage their time, which, isn't easy, but over the course of the year, that becomes easier for them. And it's just kind of another one of those soft skills that students pick up while they're with us. And the students also become really resourceful. So there are some time tests that students have to take, programming tests that take about 3 hours. But these days they're just building projects. So they're learning Java right now. They're working on a unit project that'll be full stack. That'll have a front end website that hopefully looks great, and back end that does work for whoever they're building that project for. So whether that be collecting data or having cool features on the front end, and so. Yeah, they get right to it, and there's not a whole lot of lectures or things like that.
Okay. At the completion of the year, do they get like a certification of some sort or a diploma?
At base camp, we also have a partnership with Northwest Mississippi Community College. So all of our students are also enrolled at the community college, and they're earning 45. They earn at graduation 45 credit hours through Northwest. So those 45 credit hours, they're only 5 classes short of an associate's degree if they choose to go get that. So what happens when they graduate is they get a diploma from us at base camp, they get a coding technology certificate from Northwest Community College, and then if they choose to go on and bang out those 5 classes, they'll also get their associate's degree from Northwest.
Y'all are probably well connected within the industry and can help place students who are doing really well with your program.
That's correct. So, like a lot of things in Mississippi, the tech world in Mississippi is pretty small. And so a lot of what we do over the course of the year, besides them learning the coding languages, is helping them build their network, helping them already start to make connections. We have 4 companies that are major sponsors of ours. C-Spire is one of those.
Which requires a whole lot of people. C-Spire is a very large company.
Yeah, so C-Spire actually has an internship specifically for base camp students. We have over 40 graduates at C-Spire working in various capacities.
Wow.
Keeping the internet running for the customers, making sure the app looks good, making sure that everyone's bill is correct, those sorts of things. And so it's a great opportunity, but it's not the only place for our students to work. One of the great things I think about this particular career path is you can take it many, many places. So, C-Spire is a telecom place. Certainly there are software companies out there, but we have students that work in finance. We have a student that works at the federal court in Jackson. One of our students works for the cryptocurrency platform that's in our building. We've had students work at Airbnb and St. Jude's Hospital. So, what I encourage our students to do is to think about what they're really passionate about and apply those technical skills to that passion.
All right, I think we've sold them hard enough.
Okay.
If they're interested, how can they become a part of base camp?
So for students that are seniors right now, our applications are open, and they'll be open until February 28th. So those applications are on our website, which is basecampcodingacademy.org. And to start the admissions process, we need the student to fill out a brief application, and then that student needs to be nominated. So just by a career coach, a teacher, a boss, a sports coach, just someone that's not in your family that can kind of vouch for you and tell us a little bit about you. So we don't look at grades, we don't look at ACT scores. We make a pretty subjective decision for our admissions. We do a series of interviews, and then we have a conversation and about the student and what we think their potential might be and how much they could benefit from us interacting. And so You don't need to have any programming experience. It varies wildly in North Mississippi, where if there are schools doing a little bit of programming. But we do ask that, you're interested and you're willing to put the work in. It's not easy, but it's also not impossible. I think a lot of people, they hear the money figure and they think about computer programmers and they think you have to be some kind of super genius. And it's just not true. I work with these students every day. They're not super geniuses. They're just good kids. They work hard, and they found something they love, and hopefully they'll be compensated well for it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so very much for coming and speaking with us today.
Absolutely, my pleasure.